Hi, this is Ben Freer, an immigration lawyer based out of Charlotte, North Carolina. The United States has benefited tremendously from visionary immigrant entrepreneurs who have the grit and the determination to execute on their vision. If you're interested in starting your entrepreneurial journey in the United States, there are a number of visa options that you can consider. Today, I will briefly discuss those options and the requirements for each. If you're seeking to create a new business in the United States, you probably are going to have to travel here for planning purposes, and the B1 visa will enable you to do this. In order to obtain it, you must have a residence in a foreign country. This doesn't mean that you have to own your own home. You just have to show that you have a place where you're living in another country. You also have to show that you have no plans on abandoning your foreign residence. Additionally, you'll have to demonstrate that you are visiting for business purposes and that you have sufficient funds for the trip. So what can you do on a B1 visa? Well, you can engage in preliminary activities. For example, you can conduct market research, attend meetings with lawyers, you can incorporate, set up accounts, pitch investors, consult with clients and associates, negotiate contracts, attend seminars. But you cannot perform hands-on work while you're here in the United States on the B1 visa. Now, to start the application process, you're going to file Form DS-160. And after that's submitted, it usually takes around 30 days for an interview to be scheduled at the consulate. Now, at the interview, you'll bring documentation showing your intent to return to your home country, and you also bring documentation showing that you'll be visiting the United States for a valid reason. Now, once it's issued, the B1 visa is typically valid for 6 months and can be extended. If your country is part of the visa waiver program, you will be able to enter the United States and engage in business activities through that program. However, unlike with the B1 visa, your stay under the visa waiver program cannot exceed 90 days and cannot be extended. So we covered some options for preliminary activities, but what type of visa can you use for actual hands-on work? Well, for this, there are a few different options that are commonly used. The E2 visa is a great option if you're starting a new business, while the L1 visa is great if you have an established business abroad and you want to enter the US market for the first time. Well, first I'll talk about the E2 visa. The great thing about the E2 visa is that it allows you to run your business and live indefinitely in the United States as long as your business continues to be viable. In order to qualify, you must be a citizen of a country that has a treaty of friendship, commerce, and navigation with the United States. You must show that you have invested or are currently in the process of investing a substantial amount of legally obtained funds in a business enterprise. The investment must be at risk, meaning that it is subject to partial or total loss. Also, the investment must be substantial, meaning that it is sufficient to ensure your commitment to a successful business. The investment that you make cannot be marginal. An investment will be considered marginal if it is used solely to support yourself and your family. So what are some key documents for an E2 petition? What's always a good idea is to submit a cover letter that explains how the requirements are met. You're also going to want to send in documentation regarding the investment and the source of funds. A solid business plan should be submitted, which shows that the investment is substantial and that the investment that you made is not marginal. Now, the E2 visa is a great option for the right person, but it does have 3 main drawbacks that I want to highlight. First of all, it's important to know that it's not a dual intent visa. This means that the visa is temporary and does not create a direct path to a green card. It also requires you to demonstrate non-immigrant intent before the visa is issued. And lastly, your foreign-born children will not be able to remain with you in the United States after they turn 21 unless they can adjust status to a different visa classification. Now, if you decide that you want to go for the E2 visa, you'll file the application packet with the foreign consulate abroad. You will then wait for a decision. It usually takes about 60 to 120 days. Now, once it's issued, your E-2 will be valid for 2 years and can be extended without requiring you to travel to a foreign consulate. Now, if you have an existing business in your home country, you can consider transferring employees, including founders, to the United States. Now, for startups, the L1 visa that's most commonly used is called the New Office L1 visa. Now, this visa is appropriate for businesses that have been doing business in the United States for less than a year. To qualify for the L1, there must be a valid corporate relationship between the entity in the United States and the foreign entity. This can be a branch relationship, it could be a parent-subsidiary relationship, or the U.S. entity can be an affiliate of the foreign entity. The L1 visa allows you to transfer a specific type of employee. You have to be a manager, executive, or an employee with specialized knowledge. And the transferee must have had that specialized knowledge or that managerial capacity for the past year. So what are some features of the L1 visa? Well, the initial length of stay on the L1 visa is 1 year, and the validity period can be extended up to 7 years for an executive or a manager. Now, the validity period can be extended up to 5 years for a specialized knowledge employee. Now, the process for applying for the L1 visa involves gathering supporting documentation, filing the form I-129 along with supporting documentation to USCIS, submitting DS-160 online to Department of State, along with other documents including your L1 petition and your passport photos. You'll then schedule an interview, and after the interview, your visa will usually be issued within a week. So those are some common visas that entrepreneurs and startup founders can use to come to the United States. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at ben@freeyourlaw.com. Thank you for watching.